Hello everyone and welcome back to Carvenus 14. Now today we are going to be doing not necessarily a build guide on Arlecchino, but we're going to be doing a constellation guide to basically make you guys aware on how strong her constellations are. Now, annoyingly, I was actually making this video earlier, but guess what happened, guys? I activated my C1 and then I just realized that I wasn't recording. Yeah, so I thought I hit the record button, but clearly I didn't. Yeah, I did not hit the record button, which is so damn annoying because I literally showed you guys Arlecchino's C0 performance and I went over what the build was and everything, and now it's basically all gone. You won't be able to see her C0 performance anymore. Luckily, I did write the numbers down, so you guys will be able to hear that and see it through the subtitles as well if you activate the subtitles. Because I would love to just put the numbers on the screen, but I'm going to be honest, it's not that I don't know how to, but I genuinely just don't have the resources to properly do it, right? Like, my laptop is basically potato, and I don't actually have a proper PC to edit it properly. Yeah, so that's really a huge shame, so I can't actually visually represent it to you. Otherwise, I honestly would, right? I honestly would. Obviously, videos with visual, things like that are so much better to watch simply because, it's just more eye-catching and stuff. But yeah, it's so annoying. So basically all of that stuff is done now. C0 is done. That's just gone. But I do have the numbers written down. So don't worry. I will tell you about it. But as for the build, guys, this is the build. So I wanted Arlecchino to be as free-to-play friendly as possible with the lowest stats as possible. So that way it would basically be a really good representation to you guys of, okay, this is how low her damage is going to be as possible. This is as low as possible as Arlecchino can go in terms of damage, right? But now, from this point on, if you get if your stats are better or if your sets are better than this, right? It's just going to be an exponential increase because that's how it works in this game, right? So as you can see, this is Gladiator's Finale. The sets are like this, like this, like this, like this, and like this. Of course, this isn't the main artifact set that I'm running. I'm running a completely different set. As for the weapon, it's the white tassel. As for constellations, I'm already at C1, like I said. So unfortunately, I will not be able to show you the C0 footage or anything like that, which is a real shame. But if you guys do want the numbers, it was basically Arlecchino's normal attacks hit for around 12,000 to 12,400. All right, 12,000 to 12,400. Okay, her charged attack was doing 4,295 damage. I remember that number because I wrote it down. But her normal attacks were between 12,000 to 12,400 damage. That was basically it. All right. So, right, before we do actually leave, I'll show you the stat split. So it's 75.1% crit rate with 159.3% crit damage, and that's basically it. So, yeah, we will head over to Masanori to defeat him. I probably shouldn't, yeah. Also, if you guys are wondering why the game looks a lot smoother and better now, it's because Hoyoverse did something to the settings, so it now allows me to actually run my graphics at a much higher performance. Even though I'm on a friggin' iPhone XR, like a very old phone at this point. I wouldn't say very old, but obviously with how fast the world is progressing, it's a pretty old phone. So yeah. But anyway, guys, remember that. C0 performance, normal attacks are between 12,000 to 12,400, okay? We're going to remember that. We're going to remember that. Okay. Okay, so 12,000, 12,400 before. Now look, guys, we're between 18,000 at first, going down. Why are we going down? Because of her Bond of Life, the way her Bond of Life works, all right? Oh, okay, we went up to 20,000 there. What the hell? 20,000 there. What the hell? That was insane. Charge attack stays the same. Oh, I probably shouldn't dodge because, you know, she can tank all of that damage. If you guys are wondering why my gameplay sucks, I've been using Zhongli since patch 1.1. There's your answer. So, yeah. So, as you guys can see, on average, I mean, of course, there was that massive spike in damage at around 22,000, but on average, it's about 18,000 damage, right? 18,000 scaling down to 12,000. 12,000 or 10,000? 18,000 to... Yeah, 18,000 damage initially to 18,000 damage initially, right? And then it scaled down to around 10,000 as well, which, funnily enough, was exactly how much Arlecchino's stuff was doing at C0. Yeah, because if you guys didn't know, Arlecchino's Mask of Red Death thing, the way it works is it scales directly off of her Bond of Life, right? Yeah. So her Bond of Life, the amount of Bond of Life she has, actually determines how much damage she does. So the more Bond of Life she has, the more damage she'll do, right? Which is why Arlecchino's damage is front-loaded, which means all of her damage is at the very beginning of her DPS rotation. The longer the fight goes on, the weaker and weaker she becomes. That's the way that it works, right? So 12,400 around, like 12,000 to 12,400 damage-ish, around that at C0, right? C1... we've gone up to 18,000 damage, right? And the scaling down will scale all the way down to 10,000, around 8,000, okay? Yeah, that's how it works. And obviously, remember, this is the lowest point of damage that it actually will be, okay? This is as low as it can possibly be, all right? Yeah. So now, we're going to... charge attack was basically the same, 4,295, right? Now... as for Arlecchino C1, guys, it just adds an extra 100%, so it adds on 100%, which means if your multiplier, as you could see, my multiplier there, right, was, 175%. So at C1, it's now 275%, okay? Yeah. So that's the way it works. And it also adds on interruption resistance. Now, obviously, I didn't do a good job at showing the interruption resistance because I was still used to playing a C0 Arlecchino. But you can see, right, that it gives you interruption resistance only when you're normal or charge attacking, right? Which means you won't get thrown around as much and stuff like that, okay? I'll probably do a better job of showing it off again. Now, Arlecchino's C2 is actually quite good, guys, because her C2 basically makes it so that... her blood debt due, normally you'd have to wait 5 seconds. As you could see there was like a mark, a small X on the opponent, okay? I waited a little bit, and then it expanded. The X expanded, and that's when I did the charge attack. That was a blood debt directive, and it changed into a blood debt due, the expanded X, right? With this constellation, it straight up just gives you the blood debt due straight away. There's no need for you to wait 5 seconds. So as soon as you do your elemental skill, you get to just do her elemental, her charge attack, and you get the blood debt directive straight away. Now, what that does, guys, is it basically gives Arlecchino a lot more Bond of Life. So normally it would give you 65%. Blood debt directive, but blood debt due will give her 130%. A lot more, basically. Yeah. Also, on top of that, guys, this constellation also gives Arlecchino a massive 900% of her attack increase as AoE damage, right? Which means Arlecchino's charged attack will have a massive power spike here, okay? And it also gives Arlecchino elemental and resistance increase, right? Yeah, but you can only use that part of the actual constellation once you unlock her passive. Yeah. As for which passive it is this passive. Not that one, this one. Yeah, it's this passive, right? Which basically gives Arlecchino increased resistances to all elemental and physical stuff, resistance, because of the fact that she can't heal. And it goes up to 20%, right? Yeah, which is around 3,000 attack, which you need. Yeah. So... let's head over, guys. Actually, before we do head over, I'm going to heal up first. And hopefully not die this time, and also show you the interruption resistance as well. There we go. Arlecchino can heal when she's out of combat, just like any other unit, but during combat she can't heal, right? Oh, and I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking he's probably spent money on this, right? Don't worry, we'll get into that at the very end of the video if you guys really are interested. Alright. So you see here, guys, now it's instant, which means... There we go. Oh my god, 29,000 damage, okay? Her normal attacks won't decrease that much, like you can see. Her normal attacks aren't really being affected that much, right? Her normal attacks really don't change. You can see there's the interruption resistance. And there we go, 29,000 again, alright? Yeah. Once again, I had to dodge that because I would have taken full damage and died anyway. But, yeah. You see there, guys. Arlecchino's initial charged attack is, pretty ridiculous, right? I mean, it's still the same, 4,295, but anyone standing within the AoE of those spikes, as well as just a little bit outside, will get hit with that massive spike damage, and that massive spike damage scales with, 900%. So basically, my current attack right now is 1,582. 1,582 multiplied by 900% is that number we just saw, which was around 29,000 damage, right? Yeah. So, charged attack has stayed at 4,952, but it's gone up to 29,000 as well, right? Yeah, as for Arlecchino's normal attacks, they've stayed the same, right? They've stayed the same because obviously there wasn't a difference. Like, her C2 doesn't affect her normal attacks at all, right? Now, we're on to her C3, okay? Arlecchino's C3 is a big constellation because what it does is it increases Arlecchino's normal attacks by 3 levels, right? And why is that so damn strong? Because number one, obviously, Arlecchino's, all of Arlecchino's scalings go up. But most importantly, her Mask of Red Death will go up even further, right? Right now, we're at talent level 6. At talent level 13, it's going to be something else. But at talent level 6, this is what it is, okay? 175%. Now, we go to her C3, increase that. Actually, no, before we do increase that, take a good look at the scalings, guys. So 60, the only ones we're really interested in is this. 69, 75, 95, 54, 100. Yeah, okay, so we activate this, and now we go over here, and we're at 87 from 69, 95 from 75, what is it, 120 from 95, 68 from 54, 128 from 100, and 156 from, 110. Yeah. So, and Arlecchino's Mask of Red Death, that went up from 175% to 221%. Well, technically it wasn't 175 because it was 275 from her C1, right, guys? So instead of Arlecchino's Mask of Red Death being 221, now it's 321. Yeah, so this will be a massive, massive increase for Arlecchino in terms of damage. Her charge attack, I believe, was around 120%, if I remember correctly. I think it was around that, yeah. You guys can see in the video anyway, so, yeah. Let's go again. So, the final test now, to see how strong Arlecchino's constellations are. Unfortunately, I can't show you her C0, which is a real nuisance, but yeah, unfortunate. You guys will just have to make do with it. And we talk to Masanori again. So nothing special with her C2 or C3 to really show you guys. It's just the damage increase. So let's see how much of a damage increase it is. Interesting. I really thought it was going to be more of a damage increase there. Maybe I'm just not... Oh, there we go. There it is. There it is. 23,000 right there, guys. There we go. 23,000. I didn't actually crit, annoyingly, on the charged attack. Well, the charge attack did crit, but I don't think it worked properly. I don't know if it was actually correct or not. We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to see. So I'm going to try that one again, but you can see there that even though I wasn't critting, once I did crit, I was hitting for around 23,000. Yeah, so that's actually pretty insane. But we're going to run this test again once more. Hopefully we can crit more often this time. Yeah, and you can see the damage, the interruption resistance from her C1 meeting as well, right? Yeah. Of course, you still do take full damage. It's just that you won't be knocked back anymore. I wanted to... Okay. You stupid little... I died. Okay, well, yeah. But you can see there, guys. So the charged attack went up to 29,000. Well, it's basically stayed the same, really, hasn't it? Yeah. Now I know what you're thinking. Why did it stay the same? Why did that charged attack not actually increase that much? Well, there's a very simple explanation for that. The spike damage of Arlecchino's charged attack, right? That spike damage that you see, not the initial, like, dash cleave thing that she does, but the C2 spike damage, the 900% of her attack, that is a constellation. It's not actually affected by Arlecchino's talent level because she gets that through a constellation, right? So because of that, that 900% is always going to remain 900%. But you saw there that Arlecchino's initial charge attack went up to 6,000 damage, right? So it went up from 4,000 to 6,000 now, okay? And as for the rest of her normal attacks, well, they went up to like 23. Dare I even say 27,000? Because I feel like I saw 27,000. Yeah. But we'll write that down. 27,000, and CA went up to 6,000. And 29,000 stayed the same. So, with that, guys, we have all of the number and data achieved. So, if you guys do want to see the numbers, do switch on your subtitles. So that way you can get an actual representation. I will say this as clearly as possible, okay? At C0, you do have to trust me on this one, because I did do this while speaking to myself, unfortunately. But at C0, Arlecchino's normal attacks were doing between 12,000 to 12,400 damage, okay? At C1, Arlecchino went up from 12,000 damage to now 18,000 damage, okay? 18,000 to 16,000 to 18,000 damage. It was really around 18,000, I should say. 18,000 damage, all right, at C1. At C2, Arlecchino's normal attacks did not change. Instead, her charged attack got the spike damage around it, which dealt 29,000. So, on top of the 4,000 damage it was already doing, it was doing an extra 29,000, which meant in total, 4,000 plus 29,000, that's 33,000 damage on her charged attack, okay, in total, all right? So, pretty massive jump up from there. And as for Arlecchino C3, we've also seen that it went up from 18,000 to 23/27,000. It was bouncing around there, right? Yeah. Now, I can't actually remember if I did hit 27,000. I saw 27,000 briefly, but I can't actually remember if that was 27,000 or if I was just daydreaming or not. Yeah. So, that's it, guys. And as for the charge attack at C3, Arlecchino's charge attack, well, the initial dash cleave, that went up from 4,000 to 6,000. So, not a massive increase, but it still was an increase nonetheless. Now, I know you guys are dying to see an actual damage showcase of C3 Arlecchino, and I'll show you. But before I do get there, one thing I need to tell you guys is, no, I did not spend money on this game. In fact, we can go to the shop, and we can see here, gift shop, crystal top-ups. You can see here, I still have all of the double bonuses. I did not spend money on Arlecchino to get her to C3. How did I do it? I wasn't sponsored or anything, don't worry. I wasn't given money from friends or anything, no. I literally just saved up. I had 67,000 Primogems saved up for Arlecchino. 67,000 Primogems with about 30 intertwined fates. So yeah, I've saved up quite a lot. And the main reason was because I didn't pull for another 5-star after Shen He. Really, like it's genuinely been that long. In fact, I did pull for her C2 when she came out on rerun, but you guys know how far back that was, right? That was really the last time I actively pulled for a 5-star unit. So yeah. Also, I know what you're thinking. Surely you have a better weapon than this, right? I do. Don't worry. I do. I really do. So we're going to switch this to this weapon. There we go. We're going to go back to Arlecchino's signature. Yes. And I know what you're thinking. Was I lucky enough to win or get, or out-scam the scammy weapon banner? No. Unfortunately, I did fall for it. Yeah. So, yes, that does mean I have an R2. I have an R2, the first great magic. Kind of annoying, but honestly, this weapon, it's not that bad of a weapon. The only problem with it is that it restricts your teams a little bit. Number one, you need to be a charge attack unit to use it. And number two, you have to run a mono team to run it as well. Like, it has to be mono electro or mono hydro or mono pyro or basically a single element team. At least 3 of the units in your team needs to be of the same element. That's the only drawback to this weapon. But honestly, it's not a bad weapon. I actually think it's a pretty good weapon in specific team comps only. So yeah, am I mad that I got this weapon? Not really, I'm going to be honest. If the weapon banner did go better for me, I might even have a C4 or a C5 Arlecchino, but I can't be too annoyed about having a C3 Arlecchino. Yeah. I also completely forgot to tell you guys, you might have seen at the health bar below anyway, or maybe when I went onto the screen, but my Arlecchino is only level 70 out of 70, and this polearm, Crimson Moon Semblance, is level 80 out of 80, okay? So I don't have her maxed out. If I did, obviously the damage would be even higher, but like I said, I want to show you guys the absolute lowest point in damage Arlecchino can get, right? So that you guys can, actually see how much of an increase it really is at such a low level. Because obviously, the higher your numbers are, the more your multipliers are actually going to increase the damage by, right? That's how percentages work. The higher the value is, the more valuable a percentage is, right? It's just an exponential increase. That's how it always works. So the lower your damage is, the less insane the damage climb is, right? But now that you've seen how low these minimum damage values, you can tell, okay, even at this level, the damage values are still ridiculous. I only had 165% crit damage, right? I only had 165% crit damage. So I'm going to change back to the set that I normally go with, which is, where is it? Yep, that one. Marachuse Hunter, then this feather. Then this, where is it? It's not that one, is it this one? It is this one, yeah, it's this one. No, it's not this one, sorry, it's, where is it? This one, there we go. And as for the goblet, I don't actually use a pyro damage bonus goblet. Guys, I use an attack percent bonus goblet because the team I'm running, I have so many pyro damage bonus sources that I honestly find more worth with an attack percent bonus goblet. Yeah. And my attack percent bonus goblet is obviously a lot better as well. I mean, 31% crit damage with 6% crit rate is really nice. As for the helmet is this one. Yeah. So, as for the team I'm also running, guys, it's actually a mono pyro team, yeah. There is another team I definitely want to try out in the future, and I will be making a video on that. But if you guys want to see me do a video on my current Arlecchino team, and why I'm using this team, you are more than welcome
I can't wait any longer
to,
It's gonna be epic.
yeah, to see it. Where's Sucrose? Sucrose is only level 50, yeah, but in a mono pyro team, Swirl is not really going to be doing a majority of the damage. So I just decided I'll level her up at a later point in time. So, yeah. I know you guys are dying to see a full damage showcase. So, yeah. Also, I know what you're thinking. Why did I go for this weapon? I mean, it's the only weapon that Arlecchino can use that transforms into a scythe. Why would I not go for this weapon? Like, the only reason I pulled for this weapon, just to let you know, guys, is the fact that it turned into a scythe. If it didn't turn into a scythe, I wouldn't have bothered. I would have just used the Staff of Home. But the scythe definitely gets style points. So, yeah. First of all, I'm going to... I'm going to get all of my supports first, okay? Okay. Now here's what I'm going to do, alright? Now here's what I'm going to do. Okay, well, that's a lot of damage. 55,000. Okay, well, that hit me somehow, but yeah, you guys can see that, I do a lot of damage. There we go. Alright, we killed Masanori. It's fine, it's fine. So, yeah, there we go, guys. My charged attack with the spikes hit for 90,000 damage. And my regular damage was around 55,000. 55,000, give or take. And it scaled down to like 38,000. So, yeah, I probably should have shown you the stats for this build as well. But the stats are 79% crit rate with 199% crit damage. Now, I have actually done the calculations. And once I get Arlecchino to level 90... Okay, once I get Arlecchino to level 90, because she ascends with crit damage, the amount of crit damage I should have is like 212%. I believe 212 or 208, 212 or 218% crit damage, one of the two. Yeah, and as for her crit rate, that's going to go up to 81.1%. So, really good split, honestly, really good split. And if you guys do want to see more videos on Arlecchino, do let me know. But until then, guys, I have been Carvenus14 and still am. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.